We have an Epstein file reveal. Again, this information came out and Iran was hit right after it. This is very damning because it proves that Howard Lutnick is a liar. It proves that Brett Ratner is a damn liar. And it proves that Donald Trump is a liar. All three of them. This photograph has been removed from the Epstein files. Let me show you something about this photograph. Shout out to J-Mail. The DOJ removed this photo of what appears to be Howard Lutnick. You can still access it on J-Mail. So J-Mail, they basically took all the files from the Epstein files that they, right away, and they put it through J-Mail. So you go to J-Mail and you can still see some of the files that the DOJ removed. Let's look at this picture, shall we? Here's Jeffrey Epstein in the white shirt, obviously. This guy right here in the blue button-down shirt and the white shorts is Howard Lutnick. They're on an island. See the water? See the sand? This guy over here looks very much like Brett Ratner, the guy who said he never went on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Howard Lutnick said he went to the island with his family, with his kids. Do you see any kids in this picture? Do you see the wife? Right, it's all good. Where are his wife and kids? Where they at? All I see are dudes. I don't know who is in the orange shirt, and we can't see the guy's face over here. But here's Howard Lutnick on the island with Jeffrey Epstein, and it appears again, this looks like Brett Ratner, who said he never went there, with no kids. The DOJ removed this picture, probably because of what I just told you. They're protecting Howard Lutnick. They're protecting Brett Ratner. There was no reason to remove this picture from the files. There are no girls in this picture, but they removed it. You will also see here something else about Howard Lutnick. You know, Howard, who claims so much that he just happened to not be in the towers on 9/11. I just happened to take my kid to school that day. Remember we talked about this? Okay. So peep this, fam. Edie Lutnick, Howard Lutnick's sister, has direct ties to Ghislaine Maxwell. After Epstein was convicted of sex crimes, Ghislaine Maxwell started Tara Maher, and Edie happened to be a founding member and supporter of the organization. So now we see Howard Lutnick's sister also had a connection to them. Check this out.
This is Edie Lutnick, Howard Lutnick's sister. And what do you know? She has direct ties to Ghislaine Maxwell. In 2012, after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of sex crimes, Ghislaine Maxwell started Terra Mar, a nonprofit organization to help protect the high seas. What do you know? Good old Edie just happened to be a founding member and supporter of the organization. And this is years after Howard said that he had cut all ties with Jeffrey Epstein.
Years later, my friend. So do you see this? Still all in the family.
Edie and Howard are close. They're not some distant relatives. Edie Lutnick is a lawyer. She's also the co-founder and serves as the president of the Cantor Fitzgerald Relief Fund that was established shortly after 9/11 at Howard's request to support the families that passed from 9/11. And one of the craziest parts is that just like Howard Lutnick, she just happened to not be in the Twin Towers that day. Howard, his wife, asked him to pick up the kids from school. And in Edie's case, it happened because of a canceled appointment. This is
okay. So let's just stop there for a second. What are the possibilities that Howard Lutnick and his sister just happened to have other things that would keep them out of the towers on that day? We also know that Ghislaine Maxwell from the files was asked to be a part of the 9/11 Shadow Commission. If you've been following me recently, you also know that Ghislaine Maxwell's sister created a company, software company called Chiliad, which was basically championed to challenge what happened with 9/11. Chiliad was connected with the FBI, with intelligence agencies. And so you mean to tell me it just happens to be a coincidence that Howard Lutnick and his sister just happened to not be there on that day? She just happened to have an appointment. He just happened to take his kid to school. Think about that.
One lucky family, and also one that seems to be entrenched in the Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell circle. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
So when I told you that all of these people rolled together, and now not all of them, but many of them are trying to say, I just don't recall. I don't remember even meeting Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know anything about that guy at all. These people been around. Now, here's the damning part about Donald Trump that has just been revealed. Follow me for this one. OMG, Epstein in an email to Paul Krasner with the subject line, R.E. Trump, I was pointing out that the alleged assault was reported to be at my house with Donald and I assaulting her. They're going to nuke Iran to bury those files. Check this out. This email is from Jeffrey Epstein. It was sent February 16th, 2017. Says right here to Paul Krasner. Again, if we start at the bottom here at 7:39 a.m., it said the allegation was equal not at a pedophile party. It was at my house with me. To what wording would you suggest I change that? Response here. I was pointing out that the alleged, we're going to say sexual assault is YouTube. The alleged sexual assault was reported to equal E. This is a symbol here. They're using it code for something. Reported my house with Donald and I sexually assaulting her. That email was sent to Paul Krasner. Like, I'm not even, Justice by Karma says, OMG, OFMG, how in the hell can this stuff not be investigated? That's what I'm saying. This is why they are slowly removing things from the files, especially after people start to call it out on social media. That's why I said Donald Trump should be testifying. But he's out there starting wars so that you forget about this. The Epstein class, it gets worse. This is one of the things that has just been revealed. But I want to show you another one. By the way, you can see it here in the files for yourself. This has not been removed. We're going to go to page 5. Check this out. So this is from the justice.gov website for the files. Guys, watch this. This is 2018, December of 2018, during Donald Trump's presidency. Listen to what they reveal here. Trump is pulling troops out of Syria. Is a bad sign. He is up to something and it's not good. I'll make this larger so you guys can. There we go. Some of these are duplicated, as you'll see. We'll continue on. BTW, by the way, I believe that his pulling troops out of Syria is step 1. See what I said? Like, these files also talk about foreign policy, not just trafficking. It goes on to say here, he needs a large diversion. 2018. This part here, they're talking about a quote here from Tagore and Einstein. We can skip that. That's not really relevant to this part of the conversation. But then we get to this part right here. The invisible chair. Total diversion, but the right is on to him. Look at this. I'm starting to sound Indian. Total diversion, but the right is on to him. They're talking about Donald Trump during his first term. We don't know who Epstein is talking to because they redacted these names. Then it goes on to say, everybody here surprised and I'm happy about it. Nobody quite understood why he did it, including myself. Completely opposite to what I was told in the White House. What is he up to? Spoke with new Syria UN envoy, Geir Pedersen, who used to work for me. Russians, very good and kind. Again, why is Jeffrey Epstein focusing on Donald Trump's foreign policy decisions? If they were just business partners or interested in business together, why is he talking about this? It gets crazier. I told you some of these are duplicates because they're resends. You guys need to understand that he is psychotic, talking about Trump, and would not blink twice at encouraging an attack on us. So he can leap to the country's defense mindset. If I go down, I'm taking everyone with. We need to know who this is speaking right here. They're saying that if they were to go down, they're taking everyone with them. And we don't know who said that. See, this is one of the ways that Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed people. I'm still shocked a lot of these people actually said this shit over email, to be honest. Goes on here. That's a duplicate there. Cornering a rat, never a good idea. Syria shows that I'm no fan of our involvement, but you can't do what he did and how he did it. You see how they're talking about him behind his back? Okay. Could be he doesn't want them there if a much bigger operation might put them in jeopardy. Reminder, he will take everyone down with him if he feels the end is near. I always urge people not to corner a rat. They become extremely dangerous and unpredictable. So now they're saying that Trump would take everyone down with him. Okay. Moving on here. The right punching out. One explanation is that he doesn't want them in harm's way if he starts a larger regional issue. You hear this? Larger regional issue. Take your family out of the house before you blow it up. It's the right move. China, Pakistan, Russia, Turkey, Iran. He also might have just decided to trade the Kurds to Turkey for them standing down on Saudi. The game is on now. Do you guys get what they're saying here? They are saying that Donald Trump is willing to start a regional conflict to divert the attention from himself. And look at where we are today. That was said in 2018. So some people wonder if it was Steve Bannon who was on these emails. I don't know. They redacted the names, but it says, my God, is he that cornered? So what they were basically saying is that Trump, if he feels cornered, He is willing to start a regional conflict to get the attention off of him. You guys got to think about something for a second. Donald Trump, back in the day, he was buddy and mentored by Roy Cohen, who was basically another, mob associate. When Donald Trump's businesses got into financial trouble, and it did, and he had to, take out loans and to get things back up and going and stuff like that, where did he get that money from? And the people who gave him the money, what did he owe them in return? This is why I say follow the money. It's not even just about if Donald Trump participated in trafficking or sexually abused people. That's one piece, but another piece is, who did Donald Trump owe money to? Who did he borrow money from? And who did he owe money to? And what did he have to do for them in return? I really think that's how people need to be looking at this. A lot of people are focusing on, I don't think that Donald Trump would abuse young girls. I don't think you're looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture here is following the money. Like I said, the Epstein situation is a global criminal enterprise. And they were blackmailing people that they had shit on. Makes you wonder, like I said, they probably blackmailed him too. And it brings me to this point, I don't know. Someone made this. I thought it was pretty relevant. Would you really prefer all of this to come out? There's a picture there of Benjamin Netanyahu, Epstein +8 file, Disconfidential video 2002. And then there's Donald Trump right there sweating, validation pending. Right? Now, Rokana was just questioned about this, why Donald Trump is not testifying. Listen to this.
We have the votes to subpoena Lutnick. I don't believe we have the votes right now to subpoena President Trump, because the Republicans control the House, and I don't think they would vote with us on that. But when Robert Garcia is chair of the Oversight Committee, we will have those votes. And the Clinton rule means that Donald Trump and his family members should testify. By the way, he should do it voluntarily. I mean, he should look at what President Clinton did. He answered every question. Why can't Donald Trump do the same? There's this question of these 3 FBI interviews. There's someone who made allegations against Donald Trump that she was sexually abused as a minor. I want to be very clear. There's no evidence whether that's true or not, but there were allegations made. One of those witness interviews was released. 3 of them are hidden by the Justice Department. Why are they hidden? When will they be released? These are the types of questions Donald Trump needs to answer.
All right.
Yeah. So that was the point there that Rokana made. Donald Trump should have to testify. Melania should have to testify. Like I said, she was Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend before she was Donald Trump's girlfriend. You mean to tell me Melania don't know anything? Nobody knows anything, but all of these activities took place. Elites run the world. They do what they want to do. And I find it very interesting that the moment this information was dropped, all of a sudden Donald Trump was like, okay, that's it. They were going to strike Iran anyway. I guess the DOJ forgot to take that one out. So don't forget about the Epstein files. It has gotten to the point now where people are so pissed. Even Nick Fuentes is telling people not to vote for the Republican Party. He's telling them to vote Democrat. I'm not kidding you. It's not a joke. Listen to this.
Something has gone horribly wrong. All of those people, with some exceptions, were never Trumpers in 2016. Shapiro didn't vote for Trump in 2016. Mark Levin was critical of Trump in 2016. Where were these people when the movement was actually born, when those pillars were in place? Now all of those people are in the center. The movement is something else now. And what we need in 2028, this is our last chance. We need in 2026 for this administration to be shut the fuck down. What does this administration do other than cover up the Epstein files, embezzle money through government contracts, and bring us to war for Israel? This administration needs to be shut down immediately. Do not vote in the midterms. And if you do, vote for Democrats. Fuck this. That is what the Republicans deliver. That is what our golden age looks like. The tariffs were refunded. The deportations were stopped. They wound down and withdrew the ICE from Minneapolis. What does this administration do other than embezzle money, go to war with Iran, and bury the Epstein files? Oh, and blackmail Harvard so they police anti-Semitism and ban people who criticize Israel from being in America. This administration needs to be shut down immediately. It has forfeited its mandate. They promise no new wars. They promise mass deportations in America first, and we're not getting any of it. So shut it down. In 2026, shut it down. And our only hope is that in 2028, in the Republican primary, somebody will emerge who will actually put America first. I am not voting for the vice president and the secretary of state that brought us to war in Iran. I won't do it. 2026, shut it down. You got to burn the house down with them inside, metaphorically. And in 28, you better hope that somebody has a prayer to run the Trump strategy and do another hostile takeover over the GOP. Otherwise, I'm going to become a Democrat.
So Nick Fuentes has a large audience. Now, I know what Nick Fuentes is doing. I told you he's just a contrarian. He jumps on an issue that he knows is going to be. He takes the contrarian position because it's like the shock jock thing. I've explained this to you guys before. Like Howard Stern used to do this like back in the day before he got his panties in a bunch later on. But the point is, Nick Fuentes does have a large audience and a lot of viewers, and he is telling them to vote Democrat this year. Now, he could change his mind a month from now and say something different. But the point is, he is reaching people to change their mind. And he flippity flip flops all over the place. This is why some people call him a Fed. But the point is, there are a lot of people that watch him that listen to him and do what he tells them to do. So the Trump administration, and not even just the Trump administration, but the elites altogether, the Epstein class of people are the ones that are running shit. And so what Nick Fuentes should be telling people is what I just told you. The Epstein class is running shit. They run the politicians. They run the banks, the universities, all of it. And some people that will look at this from a biblical perspective, they will see those people and they will say that they are demonic, that those people are evil. However you want to look at it, the reality is they have the money and the resources to do whatever they want to do. And apparently, according to the Epstein files, to also get away with murder. This puts the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in a precarious position because for the first time that I've seen in my life, both of them are, kind of complicit here. And not only that, but they're exposed. Because you see Democrats not wanting to touch this and you see Republicans not wanting to touch it. People are asking well, what about the women and the children? None of them cared about women and children to begin with. That was just a line they used to you so that you would agree with them going to destroy these countries and have all these wars. You can't care about the women and the children. You don't even want people to have health care. You don't care about the women and the children. Care about your bottom line and your political career. These are the same people that are bombing hospitals right now in Iran, the same people that bombed hospitals in Gaza, same people that killed children abroad and women. And people are shocked that they just don't seem to be interested or care that all these crimes and activities that are listed in the Epstein files, they just don't really want to try to do anything. They want to protect their party, their team. Both of these parties funded a genocide. They don't give a damn. Never forget that. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.